According to Merriam-Webster, homesickness is described as a longing for home and family while being absent. Oftentimes, students who feel homesickness are found to be missing everything from seeing their family and friends to eating home-cooked meals every day. But don't worry, homesickness is a regular feeling amongst college students who are attending schools miles away from their family and friends.
I'd say that homesickness is just a sense of feeling out of place. It's kind of like when you hit those low moments at college, when you're sitting in your dorm room by yourself and you're just like thinking of all the things you could be doing at home, like just old friends that you could be hanging out with and just doing things with your family.
Homesickness to me is just anytime you are lacking a familiarity and a comfort level that you're used to, and the more that you were used to it before, the more you may feel the homesickness when that's removed. But it's any time that you feel uncomfortable with change or anything like that because you're not in your so-called normal everyday surroundings.
It can be the sort of lonely feeling I get sometimes that mostly happens, I live alone, so when I'm by myself. I have a very loud family, so when I'm in this quiet apartment sometimes I feel a little bit homesick because it's just a big contrast from what I'm used to and what makes me happy to like where I am right now.
Whether they are family members, pets, or home-cooked meals, there are a lot of things that students personally miss about home.
I miss my dad's sense of humor and the silly stories he would tell and things like that. My mom is probably the best listener in the world. So just little characteristics like that that I grew up with and became so used to is the kind of thing that you miss when you move.
My room, really, and my family. I don't know. My room was always a place I could go to whenever it was like things got out of hand. And I mean, I have a room now, but it's just not the same.
I guess what I miss most about Kentucky is the landscapes, because Kentucky it's really hilly and there's a lot of farmland, so I like being able to like drive around and see horses and farm animals and stuff like that.
Home-cooked meals, man, those were great, and I have not had one of those in a long time. My dad's chicken wings were top-notch, and I have not had those in a long time, so I miss that.
Even adults can feel homesickness too.
I miss my family the most, absolutely. I have all of my very good friends live either in Louisiana or in the nearby area, so I miss them quite a bit. Louisiana has a very interesting culture, so they have a lot of good like food and different strange celebrations and stuff like that, so I miss all of that too.
Yet, there are a lot of things that students can personally do when they miss home, whether it means making a home-cooked meal or contacting family and friends.
But I still do the whole, I'm going to call my mom and just hear her voice, and then I'll hear my dad in the background just doing something silly, or she'll put me on speakerphone and he'll tell me a joke, just silly knock-knock joke or something like that. So even something little like that, I think just like hearing a voice or hearing some kind of sound or something like that really helps that a lot.
My freshman year, I guess I did get a little bit homesick, and it was mostly just I miss my cats a lot. So I had my sister send me pictures of my cats, and that kind of comforted me.
I tend to call my family, call my friends. Sometimes I Google Map my house and look at old pictures. Anything like that usually helps.
I will, if I can, my parents also go to bed really early, so makes it difficult to call them. So if they're home and I know they're awake, I will call them, or I will send my sister a text message, or sometimes we're able to video chat a bit, which is nice. And then if none of that works, then I usually will, call a friend or somebody here who I, can talk to and makes me feel better about things.
Here's some advice that students and faculty here at OSU can give to other students who are just feeling a little bit homesick.
I would say whenever you get a chance to get home and visit, just bring something back that's going to make you feel a little bit more at home. Make sure that you keep your ties with everybody back home. They have Facebook, they have phones, they have Skype. I mean, they have so much. If you can't be there physically, then keep all of that open and make time for that.
I would say figure out ways to connect socially with the people who make you feel at ease at home. Skype with them, make phone calls, feel free to talk to them when you're feeling lonely. But also don't get so wrapped up in it that you're not putting yourself out there still, because I think it's really easy to sort of get sad and sort of isolate yourself when you feel that way, but to make sure that, yeah, these are stressful, pressure situations, but they can be really fun too, so just to keep exposing yourself to that. And then it starts to feel more like home once you allow yourself to keep doing that, as long as you're still making those connections with home.
I would say call home at least once a week, see what's going on, keep in touch with your family. Even if it's not very much, at least you can get that sense of comfort, I guess.
Well, if I may, Dory the fish said it best when she said, just keep swimming, right? Like, you just got to keep going. And that's a big part of it. And I think also to, learn quickly that it's okay if you feel like your homesickness is out of your control and it's becoming something that you can't handle. That's okay. There's lots of resources that can help you with that, right?
Activities or joining clubs are a great way that students can do to relieve homesickness.
I'd say get involved, meet people. Definitely, the more people you'll know, the more people you can talk to, even if it's just a friend. They can give you advice or something, just so you have someone that's there for you.
Why is it important for students to open themselves up, you ask?
Because some people have a tendency to close themselves off, and they think that they'll be okay being by themselves, and a lot of times I've known people that they get that whole, I'm straight out of college, or I'm straight out of high school, I'm on my own, I'm going to live by myself and do my own thing, be a true adult and everything like that, but that can get lonely. And these are the best times of your life. You're supposed to be experiencing everything you can experience, people, places, events, everything like that, and everybody wants to be around somebody and feel welcome, and nobody wants to be lonely. That's an awful feeling.
So, whether students happen to be only 50 miles away from home or 50,000 miles away from home, there are a variety of ways in which students can deal with homesickness.